one might hope that MCU needs, nay, deserves a reboot. Marvel has struggled a lot in the past few years, and it's no secret, especially with amazing titles like The Marvels or She-Hulk and the amazing title scene in it. Disney is worse than Thanos. At least Thanos left half of the universe alive, but Disney is completely destroying MCU. The reboot, or at least some part of it, is already in motion, with Kang being pushed away due to the problems involving Jonathan Majors and being replaced with Doctor Doom, which I don't know how to feel about RDJ playing Doom yet. To be honest, it feels like an What If episode. To get to the bottom of this from the get-go, I don't want anything made of the things I like right now. But why is that happening? How did the MCU, once the crown jewel of superhero storytelling, reach the point where fans are hesitant to see their favorite characters on screen? Marvel climbed to the top, enjoyed its peak, and then started a steep decline, though there have been a few bright spots along the way. Personally, I would name Loki Season 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with James Gunn's heartfelt farewell, and now Deadpool and Wolverine.
Stop it.
But are these projects enough to make the general audience hyped for the upcoming projects? Deadpool and Wolverine is a prime example of what can happen when the right people are involved. Like Ryan Reynolds, both as a producer and the co-writer, clearly cares about more than just Deadpool. He cares about the entire universe in that movie. If Marvel get things right, and that's a big if, this is how a soft reboot could work. But what does it need to succeed? Take the X-Men for instance. They have had their own turmoil, with fallout among the XMen 97 writing team, much like we have seen elsewhere during the writers' strike here and there. Matthew Chauncey, known for his work on What If, has taken over the upcoming third season of X-Men 97 after the departure of Bo DeMeo. The jury is still out on whether Chauncey can handle the legacy of X-Men, but now imagine if they bring the same team, or at least use them, or people that actually care as co-writers for upcoming Marvel projects. Maybe even mainly ones regarding anything that has to do with X-Men, or just get their help for what can be a project blossomed out of care and, not just cultural issues around the world. Jesus. Why is this important? Because MCU, in my opinion, should have introduced the X-Men ages ago. By now, we could have at least had 1 or 2 X-Men movies. Sorry, I mean the mutants. Bringing the X-Men and Fantastic Four into the fold with top-tier writers at the helm, and eventually using the multiverse to merge their universes into one cohesive universe, can be the ideal outcome. Not necessarily the old members or the same actors, just the idea and the themes. The X-Men are inherently character-driven with deep, complex backstories that explore themes of identity and personal struggle. By mixing these elements into the MCU, Marvel can pivot back to the kind of emotional grounded storytelling that made earlier phases so successful. Can't they? Kevin Feige recently said in an interview that, and I quote, "The most exciting challenge is delving deeper into the mythology of the comics and into the deep bench of mutant characters," end quote. And with Russo brothers coming back to the MCU for the 2 movies that we know of, the potential chance of us seeing better narratives are likely possible. It would depend on how much they are allowed to help in the writings, even with the help of Stephen McFeely. If it's only directing, well, things might not take a turn for the better. Imagine how bad things were going for them in Disney that they offered the Kang movie to Sean, the director of Deadpool, Wolverine, and many other projects, and he just straight up told them, nope. They could have even started tapping more into the supernatural element of Marvel Comics, given how well they did with Werewolf by Night movie. And by well, I mean in our hearts. I'm sorry, but I really do mean it. It didn't have any connection to the multiverse-ish vibe, and it was well paced. And it had its own little word problems for us to focus on. In so many recent projects that happened, it's like you either have to like them, or you're an old, white, racist, sexist male. The Marvel brand isn't bulletproof anymore, and it hasn't been for a while. With the avalanche of plots, shows, and branching storylines, it has spiraled out of control, much like the endless timelines in Loki. There are too many threads and not enough focus, leaving major events like Tiamat, how do you pronounce his name? Sticking out of the earth without so much one single mention. Is he just hanging in there? We're swamped with the characters that either slipped through the cracks or failed to make impact. Eros, Hercules, White Vision. Who even remembers the character's name in Eternals? Sadly, I don't. And where do the Avengers stand now? Are they still a thing? Who's in? Who's out? Is Shang-Chi a part of the team? The whole concept has become a confusing mess of unanswered questions. It's great to know that these characters might show up again, but for the general audience, I think it's just too much to keep track of. Like, it's the kind of a homework that you just don't want to do. Maybe that's why Werewolf by Night, again I say, was such a hit in our hearts. It didn't require a PhD in Marvel lore to enjoy. You could just sit back and take it in without needing a study session beforehand. That's it. When a plot is solid and the narrative is tight, doing the homework can be rewarding. But right now, there just aren't enough characters worth investing time in. Instead of rehashing origin stories, let's focus on character-driven, emotionally charged, and grounded narratives that really resonate. We want stakes that feel real, conflicts that are personal, and journeys that leave a mark, just like Tony Stark's, but without the need to rewind the beginning every single time. Even if we are dealing with cosmic threats, the focus should be on relatable and understandable issues. To be honest, it's a relief that 2024 gave us a breathing room. With all the ups and downs the Marvel has faced, COVID, writer's strike, and the endless characters' right battles, it's understandable that some things were out of their control. But what about the things they had control over? Movies and series are two complete different sets of branches. Maintaining a cohesive storyline in two different branches of storytelling is something achieved very hard. This is one of the main reasons why, despite the different series that we got on Disney Plus platform, only a few of them were worth investing our time in. They have tried to treat so many different episodes like tiny branches of movies, but oh boy, let me tell you, that did not go well. One of the good things that they have done, hopefully, is abandoning the head creators for Daredevil Born Again and bringing Dario to the team. Some of you might know it for his work on The Bridge. With the new trailer and how they brought everyone back we were hoping to see, things might start looking brighter again. And that's up for another discussion. The MCU's main issue right now, aside from how it hardly tries to push some cultural problems and some very poorly resembled feminism in my point of view, being a woman myself, is that it has lost sight on its characters, prioritizing spectacles over substance. And even in that department, it's falling short. It's time to reintroduce our heroes, not with new origin stories, but with renewed focus on what makes them compelling. Let's see these characters struggle, grow, and evolve in ways that feel real and earned. Please do not try to show characters that are either complete, perfect, or with flaws that get solved in like seconds, minutes, or less than an entire episode. The storytelling has become more about flashy, surface level arcs where characters are kinda perfect to begin with, leaving no room for meaningful development. The nuance of non-verbal storytelling, where the audience is trusted to grasp deeper emotions and connections, seem to have been just abandoned. As a result, the narrative feels disconnected, with very little reason for characters intersecting themselves with major villains like Kang or Doom, and even less important for the audience to care about these encounters. It's not about making characters look cool, it's about giving them the screen time and depth they need to truly resonate. Will we ever have a powerful moment as this one again?
And I am Iron Man.
Or is it just lost? Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and bye bye!